to take you behind the scenes of some dice making today. You'll notice actually a lot of this footage was done over the summer, and it is now very firmly autumn. We're a week till Halloween. I've got my Impractical Ghosty mug out, but I'm not so quick on uploading stuff to YouTube at the moment, you know, so forgive me that. A lot of this has taken over the past couple of months, but I had a really fun custom project to work on. So there is a really cool Regency themed D&D live play, which is here on YouTube, called Damsels in Distress. And I met the lovely cast and DM from that when I was at UK Games Expo back at the start of the summer. And as a result of that, I did some custom dice for them, which I'm going to show you a little bit of how I made. And then just kind of what I've been up to over the past few months, like tinkering, things in the studio. I was going to say things in the studio. It's my house. You know, I'm not fancy enough to have like a separate studio space. That would be amazing. But yeah, if you're interested in a little bit of kind of how I make my Jesmonite dice, which is the eco resin that feels like stone, they're pretty cool. Stick around and I will show you that and a few other bits and bobs that I've been up to. So I'm using this stuff, which is like a single sheet of black metallic foil, which you could buy for things like a kind of calligraphy supplies and foiling work or metal work and stuff like that. So this is how the Rosalind custom dice has come out. I'm really, really happy with it. I think it looks amazing. So we went for pastel pink with some swirls of white just to give it a nice little bit of contrast and not just be completely flat pink. And the black metallic foil is to kind of represent the warlock arc of the character that appears as a patron between a crack in the plains. So I thought this kind of black crack effect that kind of cuts through the pretty pastel pink of the dice was perfect for that character, and I think it looks awesome. So I'll show you the iterations of the Chunk D20 that we've gone through for Agatha. So we were going for navy with sort of whispers of yellow. This is the first one I did, and as you can see, it's actually come out probably more like a very deep bluey purple. And quite a bright yellow, which is not quite the vibe we were after. I mean, it's a really, really cool D20, and someone's going to love that, but it's just not right for this character. So second attempt was a little bit more kind of muted and delicate, still got those wisps of yellow, but we're a bit more in the navy blue there. And I think that will look really nice when it's got, you know, nice ink colour on it. But again, it was kind of missing something for me. So what I'm going to do now is I have this mica powder in a shade called Vintage Pearl, which I thought was very appropriate and very kind of pretty and subtle. So I've brushed some Vintage Pearl mica powder on the 20 face in there, and I'm going to maybe do a little bit around the rest of the die as well, and see how that comes out. Okay, so here's the difference between the two dice that I've done. So this was the first one that I initially wasn't sure about. It's not sanded or anything yet, so there's still like a rough base around the one. But yeah, you can see there's kind of all this really nice variation and like the swirls in there. And now the more I'm looking at it, the more I really like it actually. Whereas the one that I thought I would prefer more, that has, I mean, to be fair, that shimmer is really, really nice. But because I might have been a little heavy-handed with it, also there's a little hole in the cat face that needs repairing, but can you see you kind of lose the colour underneath because I might have gone a little bit heavy-handed with the old shimmer there, which I like. Maybe if it was just navy underneath, that would look really cool. But I'm kind of losing the colour. So sometimes you've got to make something else to realise that the first thing you made was actually the best one. So I think this might be a winner. We'll see. So I cleaned all my moulds out nicely, left them in the sun to dry, and then I've just been brushing in this like metallic black mica powder and just managed to get it all over my lovely nice clean moulds. just filmed a little unboxing video for Instagram, TikTok of this beauty that's just arrived. It is the Critical Role offshoot novel Tusk Love, the orc smut you didn't know you needed. And I've got the signed Waterstones edition, which is beautiful. I'll open it up and show you. Here she is. What a beautiful book. I mean, we don't have a sprayed edge, but I will let them off because we have this really lovely kind of buttercup sunshiny yellow edge to it. And the holographic title on the front, the holographic lettering is gorgeous. Look at that. And it's a really kind of autumnal cover. Look at these beautiful kind of blowing autumnal leaves. It's making me wish that it was September, October already, to be honest. We're in a heat wave here in the UK, and I just want it to be autumn already. That'd be nice. So like I said, I've got the signed Waterstones edition. So if we open it up, la, 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 we have the author's signature on the front, which is super cool. I'm really pleased I managed to pre-order that one. So we have this gorgeous cover, but then inside we have all of Jester's doodles as well, which is adorable. I love that. Oh, I love that's like a nice purple inside too. Let's put it to the back. Sorry, totally should have set up a tripod, but I was too excited. And there's the author. And yeah, look at this. Oh my god. This is got like an alternate cover drawn by Jester, I think. That's amazing. And some cute little... oh my god, I can't even like read that without hearing Jester's voice, which is amazing. I'm really excited to read that. I am actually part way into the prequel to Prior of the Orange Tree, but I kind of want to take a quick pause and read this because I feel like this is going to be a fun, quick read. So we'll see. This wasn't ever going to be like a book channel, but I'm a big fantasy reader, so I wonder if I might read this and let you know what I thought of it in a subsequent video. Sorry, I will get back to showing you those dice in a minute, but I started talking about books, and I thought you might be interested actually in what I've been reading and what I thought of Tusk Love, because I know obviously, you know, I've said this is about, you know, my dice making and my business, but I do feel like there is probably a strong crossover between people who are into dice and D&D and gaming and stuff and fantasy books, which is most of what I read. So we'll have this little interval where I talk to you about some books. Apologies if you have no interest in that whatsoever and you just want to see those dice. I will show you in a minute. But so yeah, so I think I showed you back when Tusk Love came out over the summer and I received my order of that. And I did read it and finish it. Again, still really love that little shimmery business that's going on there. I did like it. It was fun. It was just like a fun, light, silly little summer book that I really enjoyed. Oh no, saying it's silly is kind of dismissive. It's not silly. It's well written and crafted, and it has great characters. There are a couple of things I would have liked a little bit more of in it. This isn't a spoiler because you find this out very, very early in the book, that the female main character has some magical abilities, shall we say, and I kind of wanted that to be delved into a little bit more and learn a bit more about that. You know, I kind of wanted more, but it was a lovely little fun read for the summer, and obviously just really enjoyable that it's like a Critical Role tie-in that has become an actual book. I think that's super fun. So I did finish reading that. It was like a nice quick one to breathe through over the summer. And then after that, I read Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher, which I flipping loved. Absolutely loved this. It's so good. What I found really, it's kind of dusty. What I found, also, how nice is that cover? I really love books that give a nod to fantasy illustrations from a few decades ago, you know, when high fantasy was kind of coming out in paperbacks in like the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. Anyway, really, really enjoyed this. I liked that the main characters were in their like mid to late 30s, early 40s. Kind of biased, but you know, I love reading romantasy and stuff like that. But the characters are all like 19-year-old girls, and I'm like, this is fun, but not super relatable for me anymore. So I really loved this, not just because of the ages of the characters, but that was like a refreshing change, I guess. Really, really loved it. It's I think it's been like mismarketed to me a little bit though. That classic thing of like books sort of buy and form him in instantly being labelled as like cozy, romancy, like there's some like really like grim stuff in this that is done so well and is really, really entertaining. Like there's some gory bits, there's like some creepy stuff, but there is a very sweet romance that kind of ties through the whole book. But really, really love that. T. Kingfisher has been one of those authors that's been kind of on my radar for a while of like, oh, I really want to read this, so like lots of their stuff on my list, but yes, this is my first experience of that. I'm definitely going to read more because it was really, really good. The book I'm reading at the moment, I've kind of gone back to like very light kind of cutesy stuff, just because it was what I really needed, what I was really in the mood for. You know, sometimes you just need something light. Most of the way through it now. I'm just going to stop and show you my bookmark. Like, do you ever find things that you made and go, oh yeah, remember when I was into that hobby? So like I made this little like cross stitch golden key woven bookmark when I was having a cross stitch phase. I'm sure most of you out there are like me and collect hobbies that you was like super into for like a few months, then you forget you ever did. I found that old bookmark and thought it was really cute. Anyway, this is another one that's like very fun, very light, enjoying it. Nice little kind of autumnal witchy read. I do feel really bad though because I was technically reading Day of Fallen Night because I loved Priory of the Orange Tree, and for whatever reason, I think it's because I didn't get very far into it and stopped to read a few other things that came out. I haven't got back into it, so that's probably the next one to do. But it's a bit of a beast. And I feel like I wasn't getting quite as swept up in it as I was Priory of the Orange Tree. But I am going to give it a go because I absolutely love Samantha Shannon's writing, and the world building is just so good. So I will get back into that. But I've got other things I want to read as well. You can help me decide if you want. I got Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I really want to read that because I've been trying to make sure I'm not just reading like traditional kind of like Western high fantasy. I wanted to diversify that and read some other interesting things as well. And this sounded really lovely, so I'm going to give that a go. And I've also got Tress of the Emerald Sea, which I'm really interested in reading because I haven't read loads of Brandon Sanderson, and I know obviously people are huge fans of his. And I don't know much about the Cosmere universe other than there's also a TTRPG a bit, so hey, I might get into that too. But yeah, this sounded really up my alley. That's sort of my street. I've read Mistborn, the first book, and thought it was fantastic, but I don't think that world and the setting is necessarily my fave. So I think I wanted to get into Brandon Sanderson, but maybe started getting in with a series that wasn't exactly the high fantasy world that I like. Sorry, not necessarily high fantasy because it was, but medieval fantasy, I guess, is kind of what I was expecting his books to be. So if anyone's got any recommendations for other series of his, is it Stormlight Archive, Way of Kings, stuff like that? I think I might need to just find his series that's the one that I'm kind of most excited about. But as far as I know, this is a standalone set in that Cosmere universe, so that might be a fun way to get into it. So if you've read any of those and have a recommendation of what I should crack on with, let me know. But yeah, let's see those dice now. So the dice for Damsels in Distress, the Regency D&D live stream are finished. They look amazing, and some unhinged social media content is about to be created. It's really sunny outside. I was hoping to sort of set up like a little picnic situation outside, but might have to do it inside because it's so bright it might be a bit ridiculous. So I've got like a pretty vintage tablecloth. I've got the Damsels in Distress little sort of mock Regency newsletter thing that they gave out at UK Games Expo. I've got a copy of Jane Austen's Emma that I'm going to sort of like, it's really old copy actually. It's quite sweet. I'm going to pop that out somewhere. I have made some prop tea in a fancy china mug. I'm not actually sure if I'll get to drink it, but here we are. And I also got these, were supposed to be Regency gloves, but they were just cheap ones and they're super duper shiny. I just thought it would firstly cover up my, like, you know, raggedy nails, and also thought it would kind of add to the Regency vibe, but I'm worried I might just look like, I don't know, like I'm doing a magic trick or something. But anyway, here's my props. I will go and see if I can film a little reel for the dice. So it's definitely a week of lots of exciting deliveries. We've had the coffee, and this is a big old box of dice. This is the new custom engraved pastel ice cream dice that I've ordered, which is really exciting. I'll get a little set out to give you a proper look. They're kind of giving me strawberry matcha kind of vibe. Let's take a closer look. Here they are, the new colours. They're really pretty and summery and delicious looking. So they've got white, pastel pink and a minty green swirl through them. Like I said, they were supposed to sort of strawberry and mint pistachio sort of look to them, but yeah, I'm getting kind of strawberry matcha as well. Let's pop them down. I can show you the engraving too. So we've got my little logo on there on the D20, on the 20 face. That's cool. And like I said, really pretty swirls through them. So yeah, I'm excited to get those photographed and listed this week. Exciting. Hello again. If you're still here and you've watched all of my little video, then may all your rolls be high forevermore. May your tea always be the perfect drinking temperature. I really appreciate it. It's rough out there, you know, for little small businesses and, like, you know, people on their own making dice and trying to make a living. Like it's been a lovely few months, like particularly after Expo and everything, and doing the fun collab with Damsels in Distress, and I've been working with Moonshine Adventure Company, who you might have heard of. They do like really lovely D&D getaways in the UK, but like very like laid back, cozy vibes, like themed to the stately homes they're staying in. Really a lovely bunch of people. I've been collabing with them, like provided, I think in one of the clips that I've shown, I mentioned like my coffee, and I haven't told you about that at all. Like one of the deliveries I had over the summer when I was making those videos was I've done a collab with a really small independent coffee roastery up in Leeds to launch some like bespoke blends. Well, a couple of single origin ones and a blend that are kind of fantasy D&D themed coffees, which is really exciting, and I haven't told you about that at all. But yeah, I set Moonshine Adventure Company up to be able to serve that coffee at their weekend event that they had in September. And yeah, their holidays honestly look amazing. I've got a discount code actually that I will put in the description below for a £50 off one of their holidays. They look so good. I really hope I can go on one in the new year. But yes, I've had some lovely collabs, like done some fun projects and launched lots of new dice and stuff. So do go check them out on the website. But yeah, it's tough times out there for everyone, I know. So I really appreciate you watching the video. Please do subscribe and follow me, because I promise I will get better at updating stuff regularly. But it's just a really cool way for you to support the business when you can't afford to buy stuff, you know, just, you know, get involved with the videos and follow me along on my little journey. I really appreciate you being here. It's really awesome. Even if there's only like 10 of you watching, it means the world, honestly. So I will see you soon. Have a lovely autumn and happy Halloween.